congrats, you just had your first $1 million year in 2022. That's amazing.
Thank you.
For those who don't know Zach, he runs a program. Help me here. PTBI stands for Personal Trainer Business Incubator. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
that's right.
Sweet. Yeah, cool. So yeah, and then you started that how long ago?
I started it in 2020. So I was a personal trainer, online fitness coach all the way up until COVID. And then once COVID happened, I switched over to pretty much business consulting for personal trainers. It started off very bootstrapped, just me in my apartment during COVID. 3 months locked in, building a course, working with clients one-on-one. And then over the course of 3 years, we are now at the point to where we've worked with over 500 coaches. We have a team of 15 people. And we just hit our first seven-figure year in 2022. So this year we're shooting for 3 to 5 million. And so far projections are looking pretty solid first 10 days of the year, which is great.
Sweet, dude. That's amazing.
We're growing fast and we're having fun.
That's killer, dude. That's super killer. So, dude, I mean, you've had a neat journey, and like I said, I remember visiting you out in LA, and we had some cigars, and I just feel like I've been able to watch a lot of the different stages, and same for you too. I remember when I came out to LA, actually, I was broken up with my now wife, and
yes,
it was a very transitional season for me of figuring out what life's gonna look like right now, and there was just something, dude, I don't know, I just want to give you a lot of credit here. There's something about your personality, man, that I was like, I just need to go hang out with this guy. And I just feel like he's got this just love and lust for life that was very attractive. And I was like, I'm just going to go hang out in LA. And dude, it was a very needed season for me. So
yeah, I remember that.
That was when I was like, all right, this guy's a proper friend.
Yeah, you're I remember you came out, you're like, yeah, I'm kind of going through a rough time. I just need to do something crazy. I'm like, perfect. Come sleep on my couch. We'll chill out, hang out, and I'll take you a day through my life.
Yeah, bro, it was awesome, man. And getting to know your girlfriend, she's amazing, and your dog, yeah, dude, you guys are cool people, and that's kind of why I wanted you on the podcast. I just want to have people that I just really admire and I think are cool people. We want to talk about your 7-figure year in 2022. I'd love to learn more about what that took, because I think a lot of people who are listening to this podcast, odds are they're service delivery people, coaches, consultants, whatever, internet-based entrepreneurs. And a 7-figure year for a lot of people is a big freaking deal. And I know it was for you. And I remember back when I hit my first 7 figures, huge deal. You click the 1 year on Stripe and it's 1.2 million. It's
yes.
So that's a huge deal. So I'd love to talk about the lessons you've learned that have helped you arrive there. And I'll chime in as well in terms of what I had to learn in order to get there. And that's a good discussion. We want to talk about watches. You and I both have an affinity for watches. Yeah. So I know you've got some orders in for some nice pieces, which is a lot of fun. Team, how you're running the team. I know you're visiting your team in the Philippines soon, which is killer. Your prospecting and cold outbound team, I know, is all VAs. So that's amazing. And then talking about integrating it all into your life. So that's kind of what we're going to hit today. Cool.
Awesome, man. Also another thing too, I don't know if I saw this correctly. Are you moving out of Indiana? Did I see that?
Dude, I was gonna, man. But here's my thinking. I am such a believer in roots.
Yeah.
I really do get where people are coming from. If you stay in the hometown you grew up in and you adopt their thinking and everything, and I get that on some level.
Yeah, but you're not one of those guys. You're not. Yeah, you've shown that you're a different kind of breed. So I don't think that those quotes apply to you in this case.
It's very common advice, but I honestly look at Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast still lives in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Dude got offered $1 billion for somebody to buy out his brand.
Yeah.
Lives in North Carolina, 20 minutes from his parents. His office is literally right there. And he said the same thing. He's I just believe in roots, man. I've got family here. I've got a good support system. I'm I don't want to take that from my wife either. She's got a great relationship with her family. And to me, just because they're not all thinking the same way I'm thinking doesn't mean I don't love those relationships. I love my family and my friends. And even tonight, I'm going to go get cigars with my buddy. I've known him since he was 4. I was 3, he was 4. We've been buddies for forever. We're going to hang out tonight. And he's figuring out life right now. Not much going for him. And to me, dude, it's just never affected my headspace. I don't know, man. I've never felt dragged down by other people. I just haven't.
It's interesting you say that too, because I go home for Christmas every single year, and I'll stay 1 to 2 weeks at home. And a bunch of entrepreneurs will say, "Don't go." I mean, Alex Ramosi says, "Why don't go home for Christmas?" I'm like, dude, that's your family. That is your family. Yeah. Whether they're on the same page, they have a different mindset. You have an obligation to see them, and they are important people in my life too. And it's also that's also part of the reason why we actually chose Vegas, is because we wanted to stay with our family.
So your family's in Vegas?
Our family's in NorCal, which is Salinas. So when I was when I was 19, I moved to San Diego, which in my case, I would say I don't think I could have made it had I not moved to San Diego. I think San Diego is where I needed to be. but I was still driving distance. I can still drive home. Right.
Yeah.
And,
right.
Miami was on the table. A lot of people were moving to Miami. It's a hot popping place. And me and my girlfriend, we just couldn't get down with it because it was so far from our family. So we moved to Vegas. We saved a bunch of money on taxes. We got a big house, but it's still the same distance away from home as San Diego was. So we didn't lose any distance. We're still able to have an hour flight home or a 6-hour drive home. So for us, that's valuable. But I get what you're saying, man. For me, as I get older, my family and hometown friends become more and more valuable to me than the fucking 100%. Dude hitting me up in the Instagram. Yo, let's go grab dinner. Let's network. I'm like, I'm cool with kicking it with my buddies, man.
Yeah, I am, dude. And I think honestly, it's because at some point, like, I think for me, the identity's really sunk in. Honestly, is probably a part of it. Like, I get when you're just getting started, you need probably like a year or two of like, all right, it needs to be you versus you. You need to be in a new environment. And in some senses, I kind of artificially created it for myself. Like I was still lived in my home state, but I didn't see my family that much. So like for a while, like I didn't see them that much. I see them now more than ever. And this is a season where we're like, I'm trying to scale to like $500,000 to $600,000 a month. And same like you're aiming for 3 or 5 million this year. We're on pace. Like the first 10 days of the month, we should do it. Like we're aiming for 200 this month, 220, 240, just steady growth, you know? And we very well should hit it, and we're wanting to do it without sacrificing an inch of like student experience. You know what I mean? Like that's I think why I'm probably not there already. So I haven't figured out how do we sell 50 people in a month and deliver the same quality of experience? I have no idea, because like what we do is very involved. But I think we're cracking that code. But anyway, yeah, like back to the point. Yeah, dude, I don't get it. I don't get people who are at your level and above. Like you've solidified your relationships with your team, your students sing your praises. Like the identity's there. Like first, it takes a very weak mind, I think, at your stage and above to feel like being with their family is like detrimental. It just does not make sense to me, dude.
No, I'm on the same page. Well, congrats on staying with Indiana. I was gonna say, I'm like LA. I think you were looking at like south of LA, like Laguna, right?
Yeah, I was looking at Laguna. We had a spot out there. It was like $8,000 a month rent, like a beautiful, like near the beach kind of thing.
I was gonna say, I was like, I give him 2 years tops. Those taxes will fucking kill him. Yeah. I was like 2 years tops.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, Indiana is a pretty decent tax state. Like it's a pretty conservative like leadership in the Indiana like state government. Like they just released no, you don't even need a license to carry a gun anymore. Like that's how far, like, it is pros and cons to that, you know, but like that, they generally have that belief of like, keep the government out of the way. So our income tax is like 6% or something, 7% or something. Nice. And it's a very underrated state. Like I know everybody here, man. Like Indianapolis is my city. Like I know everybody. I know all the business owners. I'm just very integrated, man. So it's just like, it'd be weird to leave. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Good, man. Well, to the point, with the 7 figures. Yeah. So 2021, these are the big changes and the big shifts that we made from 2021 to 2022. 2021, I was working with an agency to do Facebook ads. Learned my lesson there. Agencies just didn't really provide the ROI that I was looking for. And I couldn't figure it out why. We were getting leads, but we weren't closing any of the leads. And so we had hit 750K 2021, all organic. Outbound, inbound, that's it. I was putting a ton of money into an agency to produce Facebook ads, but it seemed like we were trying to build something that was brand new, that wasn't aligned with what we were currently doing. Right? What we were doing as a company is just boots on the ground conversations, one-to-one conversations, DMs on Instagram.
Yep.
And whenever we would go to these agencies, they're like, "Oh, you need this funnel?" And we're like, "Okay, we'll try this funnel." Didn't work. "Oh, we need this funnel." "Oh, okay, we tried this funnel." Didn't work. And it was just a lot of things that just weren't in alignment with what we were currently doing that was already working. And I didn't see that. And so the shift we made going into 2022 is I actually worked with Ravi, who was a huge help for us. And he pretty much just made one tweak that made the difference for us. First things first is he taught me how to run my own ads, which was an invaluable skill. And the second thing is like, he was like, "Hey, look, you're getting leads and booking calls and closing deals from this sales process that you're already currently running. Why don't we just run ads and amplify the sales process that you're already familiar with and you're already doing?" Which for us was DM conversations, right? And so our first month of doing that was January. So December, lost about 120,000 with no ROI on ads. January, I put 3,500 in last year, and we made $30,000 back the first month.
Yep.
We're profitable
because you'd already refined that process of
it was so simple, right?
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh shit, we got something that works. And so over the course of 2022, what ended up happening is every month we'd spend a little bit more, we'd make a little bit more. But it got to a point to where every time we would spend more, we couldn't spend more past that point because we didn't have the infrastructure to support the leads, to support the calls, to support the volume or anything like that. And so then we had to learn how to build a sales team. So from, I would say, April to October, we just spent the entire year around the same ad spend range. So I don't think we ever spent more than 30,000 in a month. And we were stuck and capped out there because the lack of a team. And so we ended up hiring, probably 5 to 6 different setters, and we cut them down to 4. And what the setters do is they simply just qualify the incoming leads to either set them for a sales call or disqualify them. And then we went through about probably 6 to 7 different closers, and we cut them down to a core group of 4. And so obviously there was lost efficiency there. There was deals lost. There was, time we were training up the team, building up the team, et cetera, et cetera. But now going into 2023, we have our full team dialed in. We got our setters. They're on lock. They're all committed for the whole year. We got our sales team. They're ride or dies. They're committed. They want to be full time. And so we're going into this year with a team that has the volume and capacity to scale. And so this month we're spending more ads. We're spending more on ads than, I feel comfortable with. But I'm like, fuck it, I just want to see what happens and see how that works.
I totally get that feeling, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And then the last thing too is we moved our top sales guy into a sales manager role. And so now he's fully in charge of the sales process. And so that's kind of what did it for us. Adding in the Facebook ads and the paid traffic really changed our business. And then that brought what I tell my students, because now I'm teaching them how to do the same. I tell them, like, you don't realize how many problems your business has until you have the lead flow to show you what's not working or what's broken. And they're always like, oh, I don't need a sales team. I feel like I could take these calls myself. We do 1 month of ad spend, and they're like, okay, this is a lot. Like I can see where the value of having a team comes into play.
100%.
So yeah, that's what did it for us, man. That's what got us to the 7 figures last year. And I think we finished.
Isn't it always, dude? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say I think we finished the year just at 1.3.
Nice. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's what I find to be the case. Is like people are always looking for external solutions to very like internal problems. You know what I mean? So like this is human nature generally. Like it's not just even, this isn't just showing business, but like you had a problem of like, okay, we couldn't, like you did 750, you're trying to crack the mill mark, and it was like you're looking for external solutions to internal problems. And this is something like that I repeat over and over again, like to our clients and like my community, even people that just follow me for free. It's like, there are no external solutions. Like, look at what you had this advantage of like being able to have conversations with people, and then you were looking for funnels outside or like sales process outside of that. You know what I mean?
Looking
so you
for
weren't
something
leaning
new.
into your strength. Yeah, looking for something new as if something new would solve it, but in reality, you just needed more of what was currently working and to build a bigger system around what was currently working. I think it's where Robbie like struck the nail on the head for you, dude. Like that's great advice, and that's advice that an experienced veteran would give. It's like, yeah, dude, like don't stop trying to like plug a circle hole with a triangle shaped like cork, just like you've already got a system that works. That's because it's like your heart's in the right place. You're trying to spend money to make money. That's good, but like you should like lean into your existing strengths.
Yes,
and this is like, it's such good advice, dude. It's killer advice. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to mentor directly underneath me and learn all the strategies that we've implemented into our students' businesses to help over 100 people reach 6 figures a year, 100 to $999,000 a year, and over, I think it's 15 students as of January 2023 to $1 million a year or more, then I want you to go ahead and schedule your completely free consultation with us. There's no pressure to make a decision. We're not going to force your hand. We're just trying to figure out what it is that you need in order to take that next step to either start your online consulting or coaching business in any niche, any industry, or take your existing consulting or coaching business and really scale it to that next level in order to really sustain a business, put a lot of money in the bank very quickly, and serve a lot of people. Okay, so you can use the pinned comment on this video, or if you're listening on our podcast, go to treycockrum.com/schedule-page, and you can check out that page. It's just a simple schedule page. If you fill out a form and we want to know a bit about you, a bit about where you're coming from and what's motivating you to even speak with us, so that we can make sure we give you the best options. And if we notice that you're honestly not in the best place to get started, whether that's financially or time constraints or otherwise, we'll make some other suggestions to you, okay? Our reputation is everything to us, so we're only going to really make offers to people we know for a fact that we can help. And even if we don't make you an offer, it will still be some of the best 45 to 60 minutes you've spent on your business this year, because you're going to get a custom strategy and be told exactly what you should do next. Okay, so book your free consultation using the link in the description or in the pinned comment, or if you're listening on our podcast, treycockrum.com/schedule-page. See you there.